Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. He's going to jail for 30 years to life. And this was a whole thing that just came out, and it broke yesterday, and we knew he was convicted. It's into the sentencing yet, but now it's out, and apparently they were actually trying to fight. The defense was trying to say give him 15 to life, and then maybe get out earlier than that if they got that. And actually, Ashton Kutcher came forward, and Mila Kunis came forward and wrote letters to the judge, and were like, please give him less time because he doesn't deserve it. What they actually said, Mike. So the whole thing. So Mila Kunis said, okay, I wholeheartedly vouch for Danny Masterson's exceptional character and the tremendous positive influence he has had on me and the people around him. His dedication to leading a drug-free life and the genuine care that he extends to others make him an outstanding role model and friend.
What?
And Ashton Kutcher said,
Cosby'd you.
Yep. And Ashton Kutcher said, I do not believe he is an ongoing harm to society, and having his daughter raised without a parent.
She thinks he is a harm to society, just not ongoing.
He used to be a harm.
But he said it's without he brought up his daughter. He said without having a father present would be a injustice of itself. And he said, thank you for taking time to read this. So
if you're a parent, you should be able to do whatever the fuck you want and act like an asshole and rape people. Like, I'm sorry.
The actors who played Kitty and Red also.
Red, I fucking love them both. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure during
all four of them.
If you're
I'm fairly certain.
This all happened during that 70s show.
The 7. No, it was after. It was in between that and the ranch, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was closer to that 70s show. It was back. It was years ago.
But like on the very back end of that 70s show, and then like the very end. In between, like maybe the beginning of not even the beginning.
Well, no, it was way before the ranch. The ranch was years later.
Super recent, right?
Yeah, the ranch was years later.
I feel like it wasn't like how long has he been married to Bijou Phillips? Anyway, whatever it is, like
there must have been a hot tub involved, though. That's all I gotta say.
I can't be mad at someone who is friends with someone and shocked by something like this. Like to be like, I don't. This can't possibly be true. Like I can understand like a weird like blind side where like you weirdly think that like you there's no way that this happened. Right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I can see that in a weird, that show went on for a long time. Obviously, they all spent a lot of time together, but also, like, the evidence is fucking damning. It is so irrefutable. So, like, for you to see this being carried out and go through the trial and know what happened, like, there's no way that you should make any statement at all. And by the way, don't they have a reboot of that show happening right now? Like, maybe don't say dumb shit because you're probably going to get canceled.
Yeah, I mean, he was convicted, Sabrina, of raping 2 women in 2003.
Yeah, I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about Red and Kitty.
Oh, yeah. Right. Yeah. Maybe be quiet about that.
And Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher are like bazillionaires, so they don't care. But yeah, you're right. He will be out in 12 years.
Yeah, that's probably what'll happen. That's why they were trying for 15 because he'd probably be out in like 7.
Listen, actually, this is hilarious.
I guess it was accepted in the 70s. You're right, Racer X.
Joke about that. It's not funny. That was a funny joke, but the act of what's happening is not funny.
I mean, he's not 100% wrong. That's all I'm saying. 100% wrong.
But also, I don't want to make it seem like I'm condoning this because that's a funny joke.
Yeah, but I just like, you hear this and it's like, the fact that he was convicted, we knew that the max sentencing was 30 plus years, 30 to life. That was the max sentencing, so they gave him the max. And that's why his defense was trying for 15. They thought with these character witnesses.
The evidence was strong, right?
I also really like strong. I like the fact that it shed light on Scientology and what they're doing there, and the fact that I
think it has a lot to do with Leah Remini and the fact and the light that she's brought to this. I know. I don't know if you guys are Mars Volta fans. I went to see them recently, but the lead singer of that band, Cedric Bixler Zavala, his wife, and I'm blanking on her name right now, it starts with an M. She was one of the victims of Danny Masterson, and he was briefly involved with said religion cult.
Sign something.
They poisoned their dog. Like, this is not an unfamiliar thing for if you're a big organization that's trying to hide abuses. Like, it's really sketchy, and I don't think that this was a lone situation. I think that Danny Masterson had a lot of people actually backing him up, lawyer wise, and potentially just guys, driving around like poisoning dogs.
In Scientology, they teach you that everything that happens to you is your fault. So basically, like the women were all of Scientology as well. So like basically the women went to the church and said, hey, yeah, man, like I was fucking raped by this person. And they were like, no, you weren't. And they were like, wait, what? And they're like, no, you weren't. What everything that happens to you is your
consented to
fault.
that. Yeah.
Yeah,
If it
it's
happened to you,
your
then you
fault that it
consented to
happened.
it. Yeah.
And you cannot go to the police. Like there was some like weird like urging of them not to go to the police. And like specifically because it would be a breach of their religious beliefs. And like anyone who is a Scientologist are like, they're like all fucking in. It's not like you go to church on like a couple Sundays and maybe like do confession once a year. Like that's not what it is. It's like actual like cultist behavior. And I'm sorry for anyone's gonna get mad at me for that, but like it's just what they practice and what they are taught is that it is their fault. Whether you're a victim, whether you like, no matter what it is, it could be good or bad. Whatever it is that happens to you is your fucking fault. It's your doing. So if somebody rapes you, you somehow led that person to believe that they can do what they did to you, which is like literally the definition of victim
And then
shaming.
it's on you.
Like I don't.
And then it's
Yeah,
your
and yet
fault.
it's on you,
It's
100%.
bananas. Which is not that
100%.
far from traditional thinking or necessarily even like thinking at large now.
I bet a bunch did, Racer X.
Societal.
There's
It
a lot of
really
people feel
shouldn't
that
be.
way.
It really fucking shouldn't be.
You get a lot of, oh, what
No,
were you wearing?
hold on.
What
No,
did
but for you to
It's the same
for you to
argument,
feel
right?
that,
Right,
for
Rachel?
you to feel that way about yourself is one thing, right? Like for you to feel that way about yourself, like maybe I touched this guy's leg or like I flirted with him and that's my fault. For you to have your own inner turmoil about that is one thing. But for your higher power to tell you that is entirely another.
Let me get in there for one moment, just
Yeah.
because I've got a little bit of a background on this stuff.
Okay, please
A
do.
lot of it's built around the positive psychology movement. So some of these concepts that you are responsible for your own life and that you can do whatever you want and you're not bound by whatever is happening around you. These are concepts that can be used to really empower people. And a lot of the time when people encounter these concepts for the first time, they think that whoever gave them to them
100%.
has the answer. It's not
Yep.
the case. This is the same juice that everybody's selling.
Yep.
So it's, it can be good. The problem comes when you use the flip side of that coin, because you can get out of whatever sketchy situation you're in. You can make tomorrow a new day at every point in your life. I totally agree with that. The problem flips when you start to use that to blame people for things and say that the reason that you're in a sketchy situation is because
of you,
because of what you have done. And it's not like a real easy kind of thing to navigate necessarily, but I think that as long as if we're doing the empowering thing and not the blaming thing, then we can use that in a powerful. Yeah.
Right. But it goes both ways. It goes both ways.
And I also think that
in Scientology, in Scientology,
I think it's a bigger thing that it's bringing than just Scientology. It's the entertainment industry. Racer was saying too, was like, how many people knew about this? I bet a lot of people knew about it, especially during that 70s show.
I mean, Kitty and Red didn't know about it. They're like making statements. I'm sorry, Rachel, what were you going to say?
There are almost certainly more victims.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Guaranteed.
100%.
Guaranteed.
Are definitely, it probably at least 2 or 3 times more people, minimum.
They're systematically protecting celebrities too, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a big thing.
Get paid off. People
all of
buy
them
into the sauce of it was your fault. People go, there's a million reasons why people don't report. Like only like 2% or 10%, somewhere really low percentage of sexual assault gets reported. And that number has to go down.
In Scientology, it's way smaller.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, because they're hiding it though too.
Factors. This man is a continuing danger to society, and I think
100%.
It's ridiculous for Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis to go out there and make these statements. It's harmful.
It is kind of surprising.
It's ridiculous. Like, yes, it's hard to aggregate that somebody you cared about hurt people in a way that you can't imagine. But when you learn new information, you should adapt your feelings.
I agree.
You can deal with your feelings privately. You can say, hey, this man was really important in my life, but now, he did some really bad stuff and I have to cut off that connection. And that sucks for them, but they can't be out here publicly defending him.
But think about it
Once
like
the
if
evidence reaches a certain level, right?
I agree, 100%. 100% I agree. But just like think about if it was your brother or your sister, and they were like, I didn't fucking do this. You know me. You know me. You know I didn't do this. This is fucking bullshit. And so like you may take this weird stance because it's like hard for you to process, you know, especially in your posh Hollywood brain. You know what I mean? Like I'm not sticking up for any of them. I think none of them should have made any statement at all. Just keep quiet. Like just don't like for you, for your career, for your life. Like just don't say anything at all. But I just do see it like, you know, I'm sure like Red and Kitty, I wish I knew their names. RoboCop, wasn't he RoboCop, Red?
He was in RoboCop. Fuck yeah, he was in RoboCop. He was a villain in RoboCop.
Like I feel like they should have just definitely kept their mouth shut. But I also feel like there's like some sort of like a fan, like this. These are my kids. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's no way that he could have done that. There's no fucking way.
They were young. They were young when
fucking are scared of Xenu.
Like,
Everyone's scared of fucking Xenu.
Yeah, I'm laughing like
Dude,
this.
Ranger X, please tune in every show. You are hilarious.
Join us anytime.